Tim just sent me.
And I don't know how we're going to change that in my Christmas hearing. No.
I'd like to call the Pocahontas County Board of Education regular meeting for Board of Education Conference Room. It's Tuesday, December the 17th, 2024. One member, always present except Morgan. Morgan McCombs is absent. Let's open with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We need approval of the minutes from the Board of Education meeting held on December the 3rd, 2024. Do I have a motion? Mrs. Hollingsworth made the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. McNabb, second. Everybody had a chance to look over the minutes. Any questions or anything on the minutes? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Number 2 is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Ms. Hollingsworth made a motion. Have a second?
Second.
Mr. McNabb seconded. Any corrections or additions to the agenda?
Well, Mr. McComb is not here and he was on the agenda as number. So I think we need to postpone that and
Number 8, yes.
skip it back for another date.
We can skip up there in the next meeting. Whenever we get to that, we can table it.
Okay.
Us table it, and that way it'll automatically go on next 2 weeks from now at the agenda. So let's leave it on the table.
Okay.
Whenever we get there, we'll have to have a motion to table. All right. Any other ones?
No, sir.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Delegations. Ollie, do we have anything under delegations?
No.
Number 4, superintendent's report for special recognition, including county spelling bee winners and Aaron Murphy, teacher of the year 2024-25.
We're going to start out with our county spelling bee winners. Asking Ms. Jordan to be with us tonight to talk about the county spelling bee and also recognize, I know we know at least one.
Okay, so this is my third grade coordinator spelling bee, and I have to say this was by far the longest. It took us 13 rounds this year to get a winner. We went for 163 words, and the winning word was embroidered by a fifth grader. So, we have 2 that are not here tonight, but I'd like to recognize our third place spelling bee, which is Bailey Goodwood. So, Braden Ray is the county winner, and he will go on to the regional, which we do our spelling bee a little bit early because we have a lot of fairs that come up in the January, February timeframe, like science, social studies, young writers, all those hit. So we kind of do spelling early, but he has his work cut out for him. He'll have a list of words he can study from. And then he will take an online assessment, I think late February, maybe early, I think it's early March. He will be competing at the regional level.
So we do that all a little differently than they used to.
Yeah, well, I think that came about during COVID and they've never gone back to a face-to-face regional one.
All right, can we get a picture of you, Bailey, with the first, you know?
Just get ball practice.
Let's look her up in the air. Right into this.
You're also, any other activities, competitions? That goes in.
Yeah, she won, yeah, she was young writers.
What's I'm gonna say?
She's shooting the monster.
She was just my student. Yeah.
Great. Well, congratulations. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Well, it makes sense, a good speller is going to be a good writer.
Yes, that's right.
Working together.
Aaron Murphy, teacher of the year.
So Jake, we take this around for a little bit because we are going to honor your teacher. So last spring, we announced a 24-25 teacher of the year. That confuses a lot of people because we actually do make the announcement the spring before their reigning year. And I'm honored to work with Erin Murphy. It's an English language arts teacher at Marlington Middle School. She is definitely a lifelong learner, and she instills that into her students as well. And I'm sure Bailey could even make a comment or two about her if she wanted to. So, when I walk into her classroom, the students are engaged, they're excited. She is doing unique strategies, and they all know what to do, where to do it, and just the learning that is involved. And she also has, of course, great classroom management. And it's a great feeling. So if you're ever active in the middle, please stop by Erin's room. You know, you'll see them, some days they're groups, some days they're assisting each other in pairs. Sometimes they're also teaching their peers a standard, and you spoke about that. We interview each of the teachers and your parents. And do you want to talk about?
Yeah. I don't know.
It was like last spring, I think.
Yeah.
Just think.
So, and I did not do this last year, but the year before, one of my favorite things that I did that hopefully I can get to this year again is like towards the end of the year, I take something that I've already taught the kids and I assign them that standard, and then they take it and they have to teach it to their class. So they have to make a PowerPoint, they have to do guided notes for it, they have to make a test, they have to make an answer key. They have to come up with an interactive quiz to do with their peers. They have to grade the quiz. They pretty much just, it's like almost like a flipped classroom. They have to become the teachers in the room. And that was probably, I feel like by doing that, I felt like a lot of my kids picked up on whatever they taught. That was the standard that they picked up on the most. And when I looked at the state assessment, I could identify the standards that I used for that. My kids scored the best on it. Because they're teaching their peers, and not only are they teaching their peers are being taught by somebody who maybe can explain it better than I can because they're on that same level. So that is one of my favorite things that I have done. I didn't get to it last year because we were just crammed, and it does takes a little bit of time to get done, but I'm hoping I can get that 7:30 this year. You might get Yay.
And Erin, you've been in the county for.
This would be my third. This is my third year. This is my third year. Yeah.
So I remember when I first met her, she just, her enthusiasm and her happiness just really reaches everybody, makes you want to be more positive and also spread yourself and learn as well. So I appreciate that. I enjoy working with you. We have a.
Something else too, Miss Murphy also, not only does she do an excellent job at school, but Miss Murphy and her colleague Rachel are really good soccer, youth 14, 15 soccer coaches, and command respect out there, and her kids are always well behaved against some other schools from away from here. And I mean, you can tell. I mean, it shows your
Well, I think
leadership, man.
I think for pushing, one of my biggest things, and this has been ever since I've been in the classroom, is building relationships with the kids, because if you can build a relationship with the kid, they want to work for you and they want to respect you.
Yeah.
And if you show them like you care about them, you get that same thing back. And I feel like once I do that, everything else falls in line. Like my classroom management falls in line. I have to praise my voice too often. That is my voice. That makes sense.
There is lots of that.
I can sometimes just look at them and they know, like, so I feel like once you have that established with the kids, like everything else falls in line.
Yeah.
So it's, and outside of, I mean, it was like that with soccer too. I mean, even though it's a rec league sport, they know that too, so.
Yeah.
I was just spending time with me there too.
I was actually trying to impress you out there. Just yelling at me.
Yeah.
And just
It was holiday time, so much.
so this,
Make us look good.
Okay.
it's kind of like the state. The state used to have all the teachers of the years from every, teachers of the year from every county come to Charleston, and they did a banquet and recognized each one of them. Well, they've started doing it differently. They only took the top, the ones that they interviewed. But they did have us pick up a plaque
Okay.
from the State Department, as well as a letter from the state superintendent. And then we created a poster that we would like to hang either on your door or just outside. I haven't talked to Mrs. Scotch yet, but somehow to be displayed in the school so that people.
My door has I have very limited space, I'm between the lockers, but I'm sure there's no wall somewhere.
Somewhere we will find a place.
Yeah.
Where, sure, this,
The gym.
Sure.
and. Yeah, goes well. Yeah.
Show me your best side, Frosty.
And I'd like to comment, Aaron, because you have learned a lesson very early in your teaching career to allow somebody else to be the teacher.
Yeah. It's not an easy job for me. I'm pretty picky, but I love that lesson. I like to see, and the kids kind of really, some of the kids who you would think you're like, sure, this is gonna be a long 30 minutes, like, they impress you. And then some of them find like, oh, I'm gonna be a teacher. So it's kind of cool to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It'll make me come up to.
Okay. And grab that.
Yes, and this.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Well, is it?
Well, I will be gone for a little bit of this year.
Yeah, they can go. Okay.
Are you worried about it? Well, me being gone for a little bit because we'll be close.
Maybe you can sub.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Can she win Teacher of the Year award again?
At least so.
Okay, let's move along.
But I also had something on my, I just put those two because I wanted to make sure that everyone knew. I just have, an update from the progress that we've been making with the high school. And one of the things are the transcripts. We are contracted with a counselor at Fayette County who's working on those transcripts. Hopefully they'll have them completed over the break. That's what she told me yesterday. So the West Virginia Department of Education and the WEVAS department in particular has provided training to our administrators on working on transcripts. And also Derek Lambert and his staff will be returning to high school to continue supporting the staff and administrators with the PET plan and various other activities. The Dean of Students, we do have applicants and they are currently being interviewed at the high school. And I also want to say a complete report will be presented to the Board of Education for Pocahontas County Schools after the accountability office meets with the state board. So that was just communication. We all know it's key, and we're all trying to improve that as well.
Thank you. Joseph Van Meter, student representative.
This meeting, I mentioned basketball. So last meeting I talked about, my application with the United States Senate Youth. I did get, hear back from Dustin Lambert. I'm a first alternate to start at the state. So I hope that both, candidates for a state can go, and I can just reapply next year. A large chunk of this is about the, transcripts, that's mostly address that. One thing that the transcript did affect was national honors, like the applications, so it's not been moving yet. It's now late December, and plus seniors have lost the opportunity to put those on their college transcripts already. Finals, well, midterms started today. A lot of people are having mixed opinions on the schedule. Today we had periods 1, 3, 5, and 7, and tomorrow we'll have 2, 4, and 6. Student council is releasing a survey tomorrow to see how people feel about the schedule. That's all I have today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Study for my midterm student.
Thanks, Joseph.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
I'm kind of
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And this is another update on the school building authority. I did attend the meeting this morning, and it's interesting. And Pocahontas County has not received any funding. So we can continue to work. Mr. Gibson says we'll just do it in little pieces. Continue applying for the MIP grants, which are smaller, which is what we've been getting in the last few years. So we have a plan. We will keep moving forward with that.
Thank you. Carl Lilly Jr., West Virginia Education Association PEIA resolution.
I'll keep this very short, but I will leave pictures to start. So I'm also sure if they already have the print off of the resolution, I don't want to add anything about that. When we've done what you already had.
Yes, okay. So I'll just give you all this then.
The resolution is 10-7.
And you all, of course, do not have to sign all of those. Should you move to sign it, I'll just give you one copy. Speak up here. Okay, so in case you all have not seen specifics on PEI proposed changes, I'll go ahead and list those just so you're aware. Proposed PEI changes in fiscal year 26, which if ratified in February legislative session will take effect July 1. These include 14% increase in active personnel and 12% increase in retiree premiums, 40% deduction on out-of-pocket maximum increase, 100% for double prescription copay increase, 203 spousal surcharge increase, which brings from $147 to $350, and $100 advance energy copay increase, which would include MRIs. These are things that we've been hearing over and over as organizations, both BDA and AFT, have been going to each public hearing. We've been working with legislatures, working with finance boards, working with everybody involved, and trying to find solutions to the stabilization. And one of the most important things that we found is community involvement. Because every, or almost every board of education state now asking for the approval of our resolution, which you have. In my region, Bryan County, this would be one of the last ones to accept it. And I'm very fortunate to have a lot of support from all the counties I've been, not just as a personal event. I have this job set for almost exactly a year now. I was in the Southwest region and I've just recently moved to this region. I've been over 180 schools and you're probably talking to 1,000 teachers and service personnel. And there's not a place I go where someone's not worried they can afford the job that they have. There's a lot of people I've talked to that said, especially service personnel. I don't know if I'll be here next year because I don't know about it. We used to be in a career that benefits the big draw. To have to come and now we don't have a very good drawing. And especially with this county. So we've been around doing everything we can to try to get this changed, and this is one of the last pieces of the puzzle to ask for Board of Education support and sign the resolution for the stabilization.
So you have a resolution already, proposed?
It's-
You want us to write a letter of support?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Everything is already.
Okay.
Numbers.
Numbers up. Okay, thank you.
Christy Trempo, Director of Special Education, Pre-K Communities in Schools and Federal Programming. Update. You've got 3 minutes.
You're also the timer.
Sue's very good at time.
Look back here, she's late.
Lots of good. Okay, so let's start with pre-K. You have a packet. Made everybody a copy of some things. We decided this year at the 14 meetings that we would update the application. So that's, well, we'll just go through your packet. So the first thing is the flyer that we've been putting out on social media and getting out there. We have it in the paper. Chrissy Hammond's designed this for us so we can try to get the information out. The applications will be ready to pick up at the schools on January. The same thing last year. They can pick those up here or at any of the 3 sites that we have. So we've been putting that out there. We also put out the information to obtain a certified birth certificate, because a lot of people don't know how to obtain those if they send anybody in school. So we've been trying to get that information out there. We did make a few changes to the enrollment process, which is the next sheet in your packet. And we just changed some wording after some discussion with the core team. We decided to be a little more specific, mainly in this box right here. And it just says the PC core team needs to complete placement during the first week of April. Site placement will be based on parents' first pre-K site choice on the application. And then selections will be determined by using the point system explained below, which we listed the point system. So that's really the only thing that we changed on that. The application, we did change quite a bit. We actually took the old one, which you have in your packets, and it was not user friendly. When you wanted to add things to it, you could not move a line, and if you did, then it messed up the whole thing. So Christine Hammonds and I and Stephanie Burns met, and we decided how we would change it, and then it's all been sent to the core team for their approval and everything. So the new application is the next piece of paperwork that you have. So we've made, I just felt like the lines were too much together. It was hard to write, and then you couldn't read it. So we just made it a little bit bigger space and changed a few things on that. So you have the updated application that we'll be using this year. The next thing is, we tried to do it this year, we just did not get it done, but this year, we really wanted to get out to anybody that turned in a pre-K application. Just because this is their first time in the buildings, this is, it's all new, so we just felt like we should do something. So we were going to, I was going to order backpacks. And so I put the purchase rep in. We had reached out to some people to see if we could get some backpacks donated. I didn't hear back. So Lynn had a contact in Greenboro County, and they donated, the communities and schools lady donated these backpacks. They're all in my office, and I think there's 90 of them. And they're various colors, various sizes. They don't all look the same. Some are for boys, some are for girls. Like, I'm super stoked about these backpacks because 1, we didn't have to pay for them. They were free. And 2, I just think it's something nice we can do for the kids, being there first time in the building. So we are going to put a book in these backpacks. And Mountain Park, which is Samantha McClure, is on our 14 now.
So they donated these water bottles to put in, and we have binoculars to put in every backpack as well. So we're super excited about that. And Christy Hammonds and Charlie Hughes, I asked them if they would design a little activity book to put in, and we have some crayons to go with it. So there is one laying here on the table somewhere. I didn't make a bunch of copies of this, but I think it was with Mr. Grimes' stuff, but you can look at these. This is gonna also go in their backpack as well. It's just a little activity book for them to color and stuff. So we're super excited. We have updated the handbook and everything to include the withdrawal process if you decide that you don't want to go after you've been placed. And the only other thing about pre-K is there is PBIS, positive behavior support, coming for the pre-K teachers in February on the PL Day. Stephanie and I met with Sarah Wines with the training center in Huntington, and we have developed a little schedule, and so we're going to provide some positive behavior support intervention training to our pre-K teachers. They asked for that, so we want to make sure we do. Special ed updates, the professional learning sheet for special ed teachers, I sent that out on December 9th, if you remember, back in October. Sign up for a date and time in October, so that we can meet and kind of go over IEP stuff. We have some things to go over on assessment and accommodations with the testing coming up, in the spring and stuff. So everybody has signed up. So you're gonna go with that, and so they signed up for 3 dates. We still doing all the IEPs, to make sure we have compliance in every place. Federal programs, Stephanie and I have reached out to the federal programs department of the state, and we have requested some technical assistance for federal programs. We just feel like we still don't have a good understanding of exactly what is required of us for federal programs. We feel like it's a huge program area that neither one of us have a lot of familiarity with. So they are going to provide that tomorrow morning. I think they scheduled 3 hours to meet with us on Teams and country stuff, so that we can try to get a grasp on federal programs. It's all of your title programs, and it's a lot, and we're just not familiar with it as much as we are with special ed and pre-K, and, so.
Is there one place that you're really struggling with?
No, it's just a lot. Federal programs encompasses a lot of regulations and requirements and things that we have to make sure we are doing. And we're just not, it's not our wheelhouse. I mean, it's not something we've been involved with. So, we're we reached out and provide some more assistance to us tomorrow. Communities and schools, Christmas gifts were picked up. Lynn and Dwayne and Morgan picked this up when they were in Charleston, and they've been distributed to the schools. There wasn't much this year, and I haven't had a chance to reach out to them and ask, but I don't know if it goes by the caseload numbers. I'm not sure how they separate these gifts and give to counties. So, but there wasn't as much this year, but we were glad to have free gifts, and the CIS people are going to use them. We are still having meetings. Marcia has 28 kids on her caseload and 4 more are tentative. Jillian is up to 12 and Lois has 29. So they are providing tier 1 supports to the entire school. They are providing tier 2 and tier 3 supports to the students on their caseloads. So that's a huge number. I mean, those are big numbers for us. But I just wanted to give you some updates. Lois has done the FAFSA night, and she did the elf auction at the high school. She was actually in Lewisburg at 10 o'clock last week, getting the gift cards we give out from the money that they raised at the elf auction. Marcia they had their Christmas program on Monday night. Yes, last night. And she set up and was giving out some things. She also collected and gave out some gloves and chapstick and stuff at the breakfast with Santa. And she just wants to reiterate too that Kasha is a huge asset to Green Bank School, and that she is funded strictly on donations. Jillian is working hard at Village Elementary School,
and she feels like she's providing support. She wakes up and wants to go to work every day and is happy to be there. And she knows that this is the process for her, and as she grows and gets more on her caseload, she'll continue. But she has developed a little newsletter that she sends out each month talking about social and emotional health. So I have 2 copies of the last ones that she has sent out that you all can look at. But communities and schools, site coordinators are crucial to these buildings and the support for the staff and the students in these schools. So we just wanted to make sure you knew about that. The admin team, Brian Withrow and Jeremy Brunchy were in the county today, and they visited PCHS, Arlington Middle, and Hillsborough. They were supposed to be here yesterday, and of course, the weather and the delay, they decided they rescheduled for Green Bank and Arlington Elementary in January. So hopefully they will have some good information. They're going to meet with us here at central office, and then we'll develop a PL plan for our admin team that we will all be involved with to try to give our admins some professional development that they don't always get. We get it as central office staff, but our admin team doesn't always get that. So we try to give them some support. You might have heard that data analysis and data talks are coming. Admin created spreadsheets, and we asked them to look at all the scores on the West Virginia Summit Assessment for every student in their building and develop a spreadsheet with those scores, because we would like our teams to talk to students in their buildings about their scores and what those scores mean, how many points away are they from the next level, and things like that. So they're going to be starting those in January. I had reached out to Luke Sweeney and Emily Dirks. Lynn and I got to see them present in October. I think I came and talked to you all about them. They're in Jackson County, and they do these data talks in their building. And they're the ones that kind of started the spreadsheets with us. So they actually teamed in today to our Tuesday talks, and they presented how they do their data talks with students and kind of gave our admin team, what they do and how they go about it, how they develop the spreadsheets and different things. So it was really good. They have it together with their spreadsheets and then data talks. So they're going to be a huge resource for us. And Emily has already shared some information with me, and I've sent it out to our admin team. And so hopefully we can pull some resources from everybody else to help us start this process.
Christy, will you explain Tuesday talks in case I think we did?
Yes, Tuesday talks. I had mentioned to Lynn one time that I just felt like these monthly principal meetings were too much. And it was too much of a gap between every month. And we come together and we have all this stuff we need to dump on them. And it's too much. And I said, I think maybe we need to do like a weekly, just something with them. So we set up this Tuesday talks, and it's every Tuesday from 9:30 to 10. It's very brief. It's very short. But we send it to everybody to see if, Sherry has anything she needs to tell them. Christy Hammonds was on there today telling them some things about Clever. But it's just little short, brief meetings that we've had every Tuesday. And I said something about it, and then I couldn't attend for like the first 3. But I think they're great. Like, it just gives us a chance to connect with them instead of waiting the months in between. So I think they like them for the most part. I haven't had any feedback about them, but we definitely utilize Teams a lot for that. Anyway, so those 2 principals met with us today. I think it's going to be a good thing, and we'll keep pulling resources. I mean, we don't need to recreate the stuff in our little to share it. They've also been asked, the admin have also been asked to print out accommodation sheets and make sure we have those correct when we get into testing season. This was not on my thing, but I did attend today at the YRC, the Youth Reporting Center. I attended a presentation given by 2 students. I think you guys were on the email maybe. It was
fabulous.
Yeah.
They did such an awesome job. If you didn't get to tune in, I know, Heather reported it, but I'm telling you, they did an awesome job. Like it was just so nice to go up there and they were, I've had these kids and it was great to see the work they're doing up there. If you get a chance to stop by the Youth Reporting Center, and a huge shout out to Ned, he's doing a bang up job. So if you get a chance and you're in CAD, stop by there, because it's really nice.
They didn't even blink an eye. How it just shut down. They had to start over again.
Yeah, they did a great job.
That's awesome.
It was just nice. Okay, so I have two things, but the second to last thing on my list was, Ms. Debbie and I did provide some information last Tuesday to the admin team about snow days. We only have one more until snow packets have to be sent out. So we made sure that everybody knew to be working on those snow packets. We gave them some examples of things that we asked them, the principals, to set up a time that they will have an all-staff meeting on those snow days from now on. Once we get past this next day. So the schools have to submit that to us by the end of the week. And they have to have office hours for their staff. Where the staff can be available to assist students on those snow days. So Ms. Spencer has already sent hers, and I think Nebraska has already submitted hers. So what we're gonna do with that is, Christy Hammond is gonna develop a little thing for each school. And then we're gonna post it out there so that parents know when those office hours are, and things like that, so they can plan. So that if they get into that snow packet and they need assistance or they're working on a project in a class, they can get some assistance on those days. So we'll have all that submitted by the end of this week. We asked for it so that we can get this information out and so that parents can plan ahead and know when that time is.
Yeah, thank you.
So we are working on that. And we also gave them some options for professional learning during their staff meeting time. So that they can do some data analysis with their staff for an hour. We didn't want it to be overwhelming, but, we gave them some samples of things that they could work on with staff on snow days. The pre-K curriculum caravan and the social studies textbook caravan are coming up. It's social studies textbook adoption, and pre-K will be adopting a new curriculum. So we will be traveling to Charleston in February. Ours is February 12th. And so they'll be at the Coliseum, will be set up, the Civic Center. And it's Darla Huddle for pre-K. Washington is going for high school. Sherman Taylor is going for the middle school, and Stephanie and I will be going to that as well. So that's coming up. So we'll be traveling, and we're excited about that. To see what we can get working and get those textbooks for them. So anyway, do y'all have any questions?
Yeah, I got a couple things here. Spence, you're talking about pre-K, okay? When are the applications due? When do the applications due?
They are 28th or March 31st.
So this is where right now, the kids that are in pre-K were due on this previous March, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we put them out, they can pick them up to fill out on January 3rd. And I'm going to copy all this stuff and they'll be in a folder for the parents just to go to school and get the folder. And then they're due by the end of March, and then the core team meets the 1st of April. One of the things that the pre-K teachers requested last year, they said they never know who their students are until late. And they want to know early because they can start home visits, making contact with the parents and things like that. So we will place them and they will have their list by the end of April. That way.
So all of the kids that are in pre-K right now were eligible in March.
Not all of them unless we had a spot that came in late. We placed the ones that we had, yes.
So they have to be eligible before they can then be enrolled in pre-K.
Yes, they have to be 4 by July 1
We got before much.
of the program year. So if they turn 4 in August, of 2024, then they're eligible to go.
It's not, it doesn't matter, it's not like, if they're not for by March, when the deadline is. Okay. All right. And this, talking about reinventing the wheel, the guidance spreadsheet for all of our kids, I mean, how come we haven't been doing it?
I think we have been doing it to some degree. I don't think we've been doing it like this. I think that principals and staff have been looking at the data. And I think they've been talking and trying to, look at that data and see where they need to work on things. As far as the students, I think they've also been doing that, but maybe not in the direction that we're going with this. I think it's, when we attend these professional learning, conferences, we continue to hear that data must drive all of your decision making. So when you hear all these principals and former principals that, like Mr. Kelly met and he talked about how he talks to students, it's one thing to have your teacher talking to you about it, but when you have a principal that comes to you and says, hey, Johnny, here's where you are, like it might make a different impact on that student.
Absolutely.
So we just want to go in a little bit different direction than what we've already been doing, because they have been doing data analysis for years on those test scores.
Well, I think it's an excellent practice. I mean, we don't have, as far as, let's just face it, we don't have that many kids to keep up with. And this should be a fairly reasonable practice that we could fall into fairly easily.
Well, and we're kind of behind the year, but going into next year, it would be nice to have everything in place before the students come in
Agree.
and have that ready to go.
So it's rather than when Jeff Kelly from the State Department came up and spoke about data analysis, that was earlier this fall.
Yeah.
And then it's just, we've gone into having these two principals from Jackson County and talking about what they do with getting together the spreadsheet. So we're building the process.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. You want the time limit, I'm watching next month. Okay, number 6 is approval of the following consent financial requirements. A, payment of vending listers for $50,030.81. Payment of local government purchasing $12,575.50. December the 4th, 2024 payroll, $287,197.15. Extra duty pay for that month was $15,011. Grant rewards, Pocahontas County summary of schedule of revenue and expenditures on a cash basis for the month ending for November 2024 and budget adjustments. Do I have a motion? Ms. Hollingworth made the motion. Do I have a second? A second, sir. Mr. Gibson, second. Any questions about the budget? Justin? Well, it's all in that line right there.
Okay, I have one question and maybe one of you can answer it. Maybe not. There's a $9,870.87 for Amazon. And then it says drama props. We didn't pay that kind of money for drama props, did we? Which it's on page 1 of the purchase card.
Purchase.
It's, under B. It's the second page under B.
Amazon.com. That's $949.84.
No, $9,870.87 for page 2.
Now, let me, I will,
Oh, right here it is, 9,000.
that's what I was thinking she had a grant for that.
What is, what's it for?
But I can double check on it.
Could you check it and let us know at the next meeting?
I do believe she did have a grant.
That's a
That's what I thought.
You know,
How could us,
I don't find it.
Believe you get it. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those for by saying aye. Motion carries. Number 7 is approval of a resolution urging the West Virginia to stabilize the Public Employee Insurance Agency, PEIA. Do I have a motion? Mrs. Hollingsworth made the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Gibson seconded. Got any questions for this young man after he gives his speech?
Well, no, but I would encourage the board members to vote to support this resolution. I mean, I think that's a great working on practice, and you know, I really support you for coming down here and telling us about this, and wish you the best of luck with this, sir.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries. You want me to go ahead and sign this and give it to you so you can get out of here?
We can see what.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Do what, are you?
I don't think it's okay.
You want us to smile? I think this is very important. We can get this insurance down to where people can afford it. Just stabilize it. Nothing come down.
I mean, if that people don't think that he.
well, honestly, like you said, that used to be a great incentive.
Yeah.
And we just taken all the incentives
I do.
and wonder why we can't get it.
That's the way to deal with him. And he was struggling with his insurance.
Who wants to hold the resolution? Get right on this.
Act like you like this. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, we hope you can get this under control. Yeah, it is out of control. Number 8, that's Morgan McComb's discussion of possible resolution concerning the quiet zone, green bank and Wi-Fi connectivity for the students. We talked about this. Do we have a motion to table?
Yes.
Mr. McNabb, motion, Mr. Gibson, second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Now, Mrs. Baltic, this has to go on the next agenda, or will be dropped.
Okay.
So it's gonna be on the next 2-3 weeks on the following agenda if you table something.
Well, it's more exciting.
Yeah. Number 9 is approval of services and professional personnel. Do I have a motion? Ms. Holmes might make a motion. Mr. McNabb seconded. Okay.
I apologize on the agenda. I should have told you that under employment at Green Bay Elementary Middle School, that blank should be filled in Philip Ross. We were waiting for the paperwork to come in. So that's what the blank was there. So Green Bay Elementary Middle School resignation of Taylor Kelly, a 5th grade teacher at Green Bay Elementary School, effective April 10th, 2025. Employment of Philip Crops as volunteer basketball coach for boys at Green Bay Elementary Middle School for the 24-25 school year at Hillsborough Elementary School. Employment of Carrie Curry as special education classroom bus aide for 110 days, which is the remainder of the 24-25 school year, and shall be 200 days each year thereafter. Pocahontas County High School resignation of Tristan Taylor, CTE teacher of business at Pocahontas County High School, effective February 5th, 2025.
Any questions?
Yes, Mr. Cross have his clarification.
That's why we had to block it. We were waiting for that.
Any other questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. here. But at this time, we need to ask for an executive session on personnel. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Ned made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Gibson, second. We need to do executive session at 6:50.
Was Taylor, is that the high school, is that the carpentry instructor?
That's, see, it's,
Mr. Tracy.
it's,
Okay. I'd like to have a motion to come out of executive session.
Mrs.
Hollingsworth made the motion to have a second. Mr. McNabb seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Motion carries. We come out at 7:45. Okay, the next item on the agenda is matters of the board. Mr. Gibson?
Yeah, I got several things.
Make them short.
Okay,
Western Place must hold.
did we get earlier this week, we got a letter from Pauline of Schoolcraft, her husband wants to be a school bus driver. Hopefully somebody directed that
To Mr. Gibson.
Yeah,
They need to contact.
Well, her husband was.
to be a school bus driver. So this, Paulina Schoolcraft. I was really sorry to hear about the SBA funding request denials. I'm sorry. I want to thank everybody who worked on that. You know, that's really a thing. We talked about the party letter, about the transcripts, working on that. Something, I want to send, our neighbors over Randolph County right now are dealing with closing 2 schools, Pickens and Harmon. I'd like to send some encouragement to the Randolph County Board of Education. Tell them to stay strong because I know that they're catching a lot of grief over that right now. Lord, they could come here anytime.
I want to thank the staff and parents and the kids for bringing in the midterms on time. And I wish them all the best of luck in that. And I really like the thing on the spreadsheet for the, that we're going to start for all of our kids. I like that idea. We should have been doing that a long time ago, I think. Let's enact that immediately. And I want to also commend everybody, all the teachers and staff we have across the county. Everybody's been busy and working hard. This has been this holiday season is so busy. And I think we're doing a good job. You know, we got some things to work on. But good. We're going into Christmas here. So good. Thank you.
Mr. McNabb?
I think Mr. Gibson covered everything. Just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Just one thing, I attended, school board association. What do they call it, executive legislature committee. And, on Friday. And one of the main things that was discussed at the meeting was closing private schools, homeschoolers, and charter schools with accountable.
Absolutely.
Accountability was the big thing that the school board's gonna get behind, and there's several other things. Same stuff as last year. They're gonna try to push through the same terrible legislation they were trying to push last year. So that's all, and the little red box is a Merry Christmas gift for me.
Thank you, Dr. Sue.
And
This is Baldwin.
Well, I want to say thank you to Mrs. Hollingsworth for going and picking up all the trees and giving to the schools today. Instead of us was able to help her, so I want to say thank you. And I want to wish everybody in the board office and all of our schools in Pocahontas County a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay. Let me turn the page. I'm trying to direct the agenda. Our next Board of Education meeting will be on Tuesday, January the 7th, 2025, beginning at 6 p.m. at the Board of Education Conference Room. Adjournment, do I have a motion?
so moved.
Mr. Gibson, second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. We are hereby adjourned. Paul, did you hear that, Henry? And I want to say thank you.